Good morning, students. All last class we are discussing about the graphs, how it is varying, the graph between V and I, how it will be there for the semiconductors, for the vacuum tubes, for the thermistors we discussed. Next, after finishing of that, how resistivity will vary with temperature. Graphs will be there, variation of resistivity with temperature. Okay. So, for metals, what will happen means on increasing the temperature, their resistivity will also increase. So, for metals, on increasing temperature, their resistivity will also increase. So for them graph how it will be there means if we draw a graph between temperature and resistivity, graph will be in this format. Next, for semiconductors, insulators, on increasing temperature, their resistivity will decrease. Okay. So for them graph how it should be there means in this format it will be there. On increasing the temperature, their resistivity will decrease. This question is asked in the 2020. Same line they asked. For which materials resistivity will decrease with temperature? Options they gave: metals, insulators, semiconductors and insulators. Like that they gave 4 options. So 4th option will be right. Okay. Next, for some constant resistors, if we increase the temperature also, their resistance won't change. So if you take a constant and if you take manganese, their resistance won't increase with temperature. Those will be called as the standard resistors. To make the standard resistances, those materials will be used. So for them how the graph will be there means, for constantan, it is an alloy. Next, manganese, their resistivity will not change with temperature. These materials will be used. These materials will be used to make standard resistors. Okay. How the graph between these two will be there means, here rho T, here rho, it won't change. Resistivity won't change with temperature. Next, after finishing of this, next will be keep the heading special cases. In different cases, how resistance will change, like that questions will be there. What to do with that? See, first one, a wire of resistance R is stretched so that its length becomes n times. A wire of resistance R that is stretched so that its length becomes n times, then its resistance becomes n square into R. Its resistance will becomes n square into R. So here one wire is there like this. I am assuming its length is L, its area is A, its resistance is R. It is stretched like this. So that what happened to it? Its length increases by n times. What will happen to the new resistance? New resistance will become n square R. How that is came? See, we know the formula R is equal to rho L by A. On stretching, length will increases, area of cross section will decreases. How much area of cross section is decreased, that is not mentioned in this. What they gave, simply length increases by n times, that only they mentioned. So that's why what we are doing is, here I am multiplying with L and dividing with L. But on stretching, what will happen means volume of the wire will remains as the same. Volume won't change. Area length will change, but volume will remains as the constant. We will consider that one. So here what will happen? R is equal to rho L square by area into length will be equal to volume. Area of cross section into length. That will be equal to volume. Here volume remains constant. Already rho remains constant. Then R proportional to L square. R1 by R2 is equal to L1 by L2 whole square. Here R1 value is R. R2 value we had to calculate. If initial length is L, final length will becomes NL. LL will cancels. This will be 1 by n square. R2 is equal to n square into R. So, on stretching the wire, its resistance will increase. On stretching, if the length of the wire is increased by n times, then its resistance becomes n square into R. For example, on stretching, if its radius decreases by 1 by n times, then what will be the new resistance? Like that also questions will be there. A wire of resistance R is stretched so that its radius becomes 1 by n times, then its new resistance is n power 4 into R. Same wire, its length is L, area radius R, let it be, resistance capital R. Wire is stretched in this format. Because of that, what will happen? Radius becomes r by n. New resistance, I am assuming it as r dash. What is that value? They are not mentioning about the length here. So what we will do is r is equal to rho L by A formula. A value here, what I am doing is I am multiplying with A and dividing with A, because we don't know about the length. A by A, length into area will be volume by A square. So R is equal to rho volume by, this is pi R square. So pi square R power 4 will come. Rho is constant, volume is constant, then R proportional to 1 by R power 4. So R1 by R2 is equal to small r2 by R1 power 4. So this is R1 is R, R2 is 1 by R. So this value is R. This capital R1 is capital R, R2 is R dash, we assumed. This is R by N, this is small r, whole power 4. So this is equal to 1 by N power 4, R dash is equal to N power 4 into R. So how much resistance it will becomes means R dash is equal to N power 4 into capital R. Okay, like this questions will be there. Next, third, a wire is stretched such that its length increases by x%, not n times like that they will mention. A wire is stretched such that its length increases by x%, then its resistance becomes 2x%. Then its resistance will becomes 2x%. That is the question. So here there is a wire. Then its length is increased by x%. What is the percentage increase in the resistance? How that is came? R is equal to rho L by A. We will write rho L square by volume. What I did? I multiplied with L and divided with L. So it becomes rho L square, area into length becomes volume. So here volume remains constant, rho remains constant. So delta R by R into 100 is equal to 2 into delta L by L into 100. Then its resistance exactly what we speak. Then percentage increase in the resistance. Then percentage increase in resistance is 2x%. This will be x. So it becomes 2x. Delta R by R into 100 is equal to 2x. This is x% they mentioned. So it becomes 2x%. If they gave in terms of radius, what to do? See, a wire is stretched such that its radius becomes 1 by x%, then percentage increase in resistance is 4x%. Okay, how this is came, see, same. R is equal to rho L by A multiplying with A and dividing with A, rho V by A square, rho V by pi square R power 4. So R proportional to 1 by R power 4, delta R by R into 100 is equal to minus 4 into delta small r by r into 100. This value decreases by x% like that you take. Already decreases like that, radius becomes decreases by, you use the term, it's radius decreases by x%. Then delta r by decreases means minus you had to take. So minus 4 into minus x, this will be 4x%. Okay, like this problems will be there on the resistances. Next, one more model you see. A cylinder, a hollow cylinder of inner radius R1 and outer radius R2. A hollow cylinder of inner radius R1 and outer radius R2 will have a resistance of R is equal to rho L by pi into R2 square minus R1 square. One cylindrical pipe is there like this. Its inner radius will be R1. Its outer radius value will be R2. Inner radius value will be R1. Then what is the length of that cylindrical pipe will be L. Then what is the resistance of that will be rho L by pi into R2 square minus R1 square. Next, a cuboid is there. Consider a cuboid of dimensions L into B into H, L greater than B greater than H. Okay, for example, cube means what will happen? Cube will have equal lengths. If you consider this book, we can call it as a cuboid. This will be length. This will be breadth. This will be height or thickness. So length, breadth, thickness, all are different. L value is greater than B, that is greater than H. If it is there, then across the length means between these 2 points. Across the breadth means between these 2 points. Observe my fingers. Between these two, my hands you observe. Between these 2 points, how much resistance will be there, that is across the breadth. Between these 2 points, how much resistance will be there, that is across the length. Between these 2 points, how much resistance will be there, that will be across the thickness or height. What formulas we have to use? So, R across the length. So, length you have to take. Here area value will be breadth into height you have to take. Next, R breadth, rho B by L into H, R height, rho H by L into B. These formulas we have to consider. Clear? And here what will happen, which will be maximum means, here area is minimum, length will be maximum. Here this value will be very less and this value will be maximum. R length means resistance across the length is maximum. R height, this value will be minimum. Okay, next, after finishing of this, what is the relation between current density and electric field and conductivity? Let us see. Relation between J and sigma. J value will be called as the current density. Sigma value is conductivity. What is the relation between the two? We'll take I is equal to V by R, Ohm's law. And R value is equal to rho L by A. So V by rho L by A, VA by rho L. Understanding? Next, then you bring that I to this side. This is V by rho L. 1 by rho means I by A means J ma. 1 by rho into V by L. 1 by rho is sigma. Potential difference per unit length, this value will be equal to electric field intensity. So finally what we got, J is equal to sigma E, that is the relation between current density and conductivity. Okay, next, after finishing of this, what is meant by temperature coefficient of resistance? Temperature coefficient of resistance. It is indicated by the letter alpha. How we will define this one is, alpha is equal to RT minus R naught by R naught into T. Resistance at 0 degrees centigrade is given. R naught is resistance at 0 degrees centigrade. RT is equal to resistance at T degrees centigrade. Or we will use the formula alpha is equal to R2 minus R1 by R1 T2 minus R2 T1. If we don't know the resistance at 0 degree centigrade, resistance at T1 degree centigrade is given resistance at T2 degrees centigrade is given. Find the alpha means we have to use the formula where here R1 is equal to resistance at T1 degree centigrade. R2 is equal to resistance at T2 degree centigrade. We will use these formulas when a temperature at 20 degrees centigrade, resistance is 80 ohm. At 40 degrees centigrade, resistance is 82 ohm. Find the alpha value. Like that questions are there. You have to use this formula. Resistance at 0 degrees centigrade is 20 ohm. At 60 degrees centigrade, 21 ohm. Find alpha value means you have to use this formula. Okay. Here what is the SI unit of this? See. So resistance will cancel. So K power minus 1. Kelvin inverse will be the SI unit for this. For metals what will happen means this alpha value will be positive. So on increasing the temperature, metals resistance will increases. For semiconductors, for insulators, alpha value will be negative. That's why on increasing the temperature, their resistance will decreases. Okay? Write that point. For conductors, alpha is positive. So, when temperature increases, resistance value will also increase. Okay? Next, for semiconductors and insulators, alpha is negative. So, when temperature increases, their resistance will decreases. Next, for constantan, manganese, standard resistances, alpha is equal to 0. So, when temperature increases or decreases, there is no change in their resistance. Okay, on this only one application will be there. We will discuss that one. What is that? See. Two resistors having resistances R1 and R2 are connected in series. Okay, condition to maintain effective resistance is same at all temperatures is R1 alpha 1 is equal to minus R2 alpha 2. Here this is one metal. For example, copper. This is another metal, let it be aluminum. Its resistance is R1, its resistance is R2. What is the effective resistance? R1 plus R2. We increased the temperature. Then its resistance becomes R1 dash. Its resistance becomes R2 dash. What is the condition to have the effective resistance is same at all temperatures? Means definitely this will not be a metal, it will be a semiconductors like germanium. Then what will happen? On increasing the temperature, its resistance will increases, but its resistance will decreases, so that effective resistance will be the same. For example, R1 is 10 ohms, R2 is 6 ohms. What is the effective resistance? 16 ohms. On increasing the temperature, R1 becomes 12 ohms, R2 becomes 4 ohms because it is having negative temperature coefficient. So then effective resistance again will be how much? 12 plus 4, 16 only. Like that, what is the condition that metals should satisfy? Is R1 alpha 1 is equal to minus R2 alpha 2. When this condition satisfies, effective resistance will be the same. Okay.